Apparently my phone messed up, so I guess I ran out of rod on that one. I'm gonna finish this weld out. Alright. There it is. That one's all welded on. I think I might have to get me some washers to put in here, just so it'll center this up so it's not wobbling around. That would be ideal. lots of welding to do. That wasn't so bad. Now this side's the only side that's actually welded. The other side's not, it's just tacked. That was pretty cool. That's all right, guys. I still got some boards I need to replace on here. I've got some oak boards in the shipping container there drying, and so anyway, I cut those 2 inches thick, and apparently the boards on this trailer is 1.5 inches, so I guess I'm gonna have to take a 1/2 inch off, and now I'm going to put a piece of angle iron in here beside one of these pieces of channel. A pickup, towing a pickup that's towing a trailer with a Kubota on it. Okay, where was I? I've seen it all now. Oh man, I don't even remember what I was talking about. So anyways, yeah. The boards that I got in there, I'm gonna have to mill them down, take a 1/2 inch off of them, and then and I already got the screws to put it on, but I'm gonna put a piece of angle iron on underneath here. That way I don't have to have full 16-foot lumber in order to redeck this trailer. It's kind of you got 1.5 inch channel iron, and if you try to mate up 2 ends of a board on top of that, it doesn't work. It never works. So I've got the ramp racks underneath of the trailer. I'm going to take a torch and cut those little welds off. I mean, they're just little bitty welds, so I'm going to cut those off, get that out from underneath the trailer, and use a piece of that angle iron underneath here. I'll figure out, it's probably going to be right about here, right in front of this front axle here. I think that looks about the middle of the 16. These are supposed to be 16-foot 2x6s. And so anyway, I will get that milled up and replace these center boards here. Boy, the heartburn's getting me good. I'm getting hungry right now. So anyway, there's that. let's run this thing all the way out a little ways. See, I've got to get a stop put on it so it doesn't go too far out. So I think, like, I'm gonna have to figure out where the end is. I think I still got a little ways to go. Oh, that grinder is always trying to get tangled up with this. It's gonna cut it forward. Eventually, one of these days, that's what it's gonna do. Let me see. See right here, it's definitely, that's about 1.5 feet over, you know, past the end of the trailer there. And I've probably still got a pretty good amount of pipe inside that pipe there. I got it sitting on the block of wood now. I don't want it to go too far down, because if it does, then we got an issue. If this thing, if I didn't have a block of wood here or something to stop this thing, and if it went all the way down, it would cam over to the point where it would almost be impossible to get that thing back up with the winch. I mean, that right there is pretty far out. I don't think I would ever need it to go any further out than that. That thing, put the wire out of my way. Bring the camera back here so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. And of course, the ladder's right in the way of putting the tripod here. All right, you guys are pretty much in line with the back end of the trailer there. So I would think that right about there you should be able to winch a log up. If you got it chained pretty close to the butt end of it, you should be able to have it right here, pull it up, and I'm thinking about welding a stop across here, which I can't do that. If I did that, it would be bad. I wouldn't be able to get my cable out of it, because you're supposed to be able to unscrew this and spin this side of the sheave around and be able to get your cable in and out of there without completely disconnecting everything. So I've got to figure out a way to make it to where, say, the hook gets up to about right here, and something will jam up right here and stop the cable from going in, keep the hook from going in, and then the log arch will actually start to rise up, and once it gets to a stopping point, then I can let the slack back out on the cable, and it will set the log down on the bed. Then from that point, the log arch will stay in its position, and at that point I can just take the cable out of here. I mean, ideally I would have maybe a a smaller winch, or maybe even a bigger winch, but have the bigger winch operating the cable through here, and then a smaller winch that can just drag the log straight on the rest of the way onto the trailer. I imagine I could probably get a quite a bit smaller winch to be able to do that, but I don't see any reason to buy a smaller winch than a 12,000 pound. That's in my book, that's kind of small for this job that I'm planning on doing with it. So I think Matt Cremona has a 18,000 pound winch, and that would be pretty nice to have. But our store did not have one, and I didn't realize they even made an 18,000 pound winch. I never really paid attention to, you know, what the weight rating was on his winch. I knew that he had gotten a bigger one at one point, but I think this 12,000 pound winch is going to work because I'm not going to be trying to get really huge logs because my sawmill that I have right now is just not that big. So I think this 12,000 pound winch is going to work just fine, as long as I don't get too big of a hurry and overwork it. But anyway, if you guys haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. It's right down there. Hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. I really would appreciate it. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.